Welcome back, everybody. My name is Coach Ivy ReVined, and I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is the passive codependent and the relationship with the narcissist. But before I do, let's get the introductions out the way. I am a codependent recovery coach, a narcissistic abuse recovery coach, and an intuitive coach. I am a coach mentor and instructor for Universal Coach Institute online, and I will put that all in the description below. So let's get started. Now, why is this one of my favorite topics? One, because I'm a recovered codependent myself, but there is just this really unique relationship that goes on with the passive codependent and the narcissist. Typically, a passive codependent is usually attracted to or attracts a typical narcissist. Now, why is that? Well, in the last video, we discussed how the codependent have these certain behaviors, and they all stem from some major categories. One is low self-esteem. Another one is the overwhelming need to please. And that all comes from a level of control. Now, they want to get into a relationship where they feel valued and appreciated. And when they first meet the narcissist, they are enamored, almost starstruck, because the narcissist will have all of these wonderful stories. And there's typically, if they are a grandiose narcissist, they will have all of these wonderful stories about where they traveled, their successes, just all the wonderful places they were been and who they are as a person. And this is pleasing to the ears of the passive codependent. One, because a passive codependent don't really feel like they have those wonderful stories to share from their past. And they feel that this person can fill that void. This person can bring that level of excitement into my life, something that I fantasize, something that I've read about in my romance novels. And the narcissist will pick that up subconsciously. They will pick that up. They will know there is something about this person that is willing to open themselves up to me. And that's perfect. That's a perfect scenario for a narcissist. Now, when the relationship begins, the passive codependent is more than willing to give everything there is. They will express stories about their past, their present, and hopes about their future. The passive codependent leaves no room to the imagination, and the narcissist picks up exactly what they need to hear. And the parts that they picking up is the parts that they know they will be able to use for themselves going forward in the relationship. Overall, the narcissist is in it to get exactly what they can out of the relationship, whether it's finances, whether it's a place to stay, whether it's just a person to be with for the moment, sometimes someone to warm a bed for. A narcissist is usually looking for someone better, someone better, someone better. They never feel that they never really satisfied. And how would a passive codependent be able to satisfy their interest for the long haul? But initially in the relationship, the passive codependent is providing the perfect fuel, because they will do just everything they possibly can do for the narcissist, almost like becoming a father or a mother to this narcissist, giving financially, paying all the bills, just being the provider, the home care provider, and always there to listen to their stories about what's going on with work and their friends. And they begin to feel undervalued in that relationship. Eventually, the passive codependent will start to feel lonely within that relationship. And what happens when a passive codependent start to feel lonely in the relationship, when the toxic relationship starts to fester, the tools, the same tools it took for the narcissist to get the passive codependent, the codependent will start to use the same levels of manipulation we spoke about in the previous video. The passive aggressive behaviors start to manifest, the guilt tripping, the complaining, the stories they will tell to get the narcissist to fall in line, because the narcissist will start to begin their process of disconnecting that relationship. They will start to lie. They will start to maybe cheat. The narcissists have a lot of other traits that they usually fall into, whether they're promiscuous, so they will start to cheat. And the passive codependent will really never will find it hard to bring to tell it like it is to a narcissist. They will find it completely hard to do that. However, they know that there's a breakdown in the relationship. So they will start to use manipulation tools and tricks to get the narcissist to fall back into line, to get it to the beginning of the relationship where the narcissist was showing interest to them. Now, can a codependent leave a narcissist when they start to feel undervalued? Not likely. Not likely, because that is almost close to, for the relationship to end, is almost close to death for them. It reminds them of that void. You have to realize that starting the relationship with the narcissist, they actually felt like the narcissist filled that void for them. They become the narcissist become their end all be all. They start to attach their own self identity to this narcissist. The narcissist would have already shared stories about their past where they feel victimized. So there's that trauma bonding within that relationship. So the passive codependent feels like the narcissist is an extension of themselves. So they're not likely to leave the relationship. For the relationship to end, the narcissist will ultimately end up abandoning the passive codependent. Now, this is very, very important. They never truly abandon them. One thing that the narcissists don't really understand until after relationship is over is that the passive codependent provides a wonderful fuel for them. A wonderful fuel, which they will try to look for in almost every relationship after that, where that person was completely at their beck and call. And not everyone is willing to do that, but a passive codependent is more than willing to be at someone's beck and call. Now the narcissist will start the hoovering process, will come back into the passive codependent life over and over and over again. And even if they don't come back for the relationship to begin, for the relationship to start fully, they come back for sparks of fuel. Um, I had my own experience with being a codependent recovered person myself, and I'm gonna share my story in the next few videos to come. But what I find very unique about that is that the passive codependent will always be that open ear, just willing to hear the next great adventure for the narcissist and the success story. And the narcissist will come and share that story, and off they go. They come in and they poof in and they poof out, and they will be a constant um uh, rise of hope and breakdown of disappointment until the passive codependent realize that there is really no future to this, and then they decide to cut all ties. But unless they do, they will continue to martyr themselves to that particular moment for the narcissist, and the narcissist is more than willing to kill them softly with a love song that never ever turns into love. And that's a very important thing. Now, can a passive codependent determine when they meeting a narcissist and how to avoid that? Absolutely. But that comes with some work. And we're going to talk about the work in future videos to come. But until they realize that until they come to a situation where they really self-actualizing themselves, and where their fears arrive from, their loneliness arrive from, that void arrives from, their overwhelming need to please derives from, where does it come from? Where does that external core of low self-esteem pivots from? They will continue to be out of whack. They will always continue to attract a narcissist in their life. Typically, it will be almost a guarantee for a passive codependent, unless they have done some work of self-actualization, that almost every person they attract into their life will be somewhat narcissistic or have some kind of behavior pattern, emotional behavior afflictions. And it's very important that we talk about this in the next videos to come, because part of the process is to do the work. And we want to do the work so that you identify, can you even identify yourself as this person? And are you willing to do the work so that you can see when something like this is heading your way? I can't tell you, I promise you now, I could see how a narcissist walk into the room. It has helped. And we will talk about that in the next videos to come. But how will they be able to avoid that? Also will come with avoiding their own afflictions. It is almost metaphoric when they are able to avoid, one, their own afflictions, and then the type of people that they attract into their lives will ultimately change. We have a lot of work to do, people, and I'm really, really looking forward to the many things that we have to talk about. It's not going to end here. The next few videos, we're going to talk about the other archetype, and we also going to get really in depth more about the passive codependent. This is a really exciting journey for us all. Can you identify yourself as a passive codependent? Do you know someone who is? From the previous video and also to now, are you able to identify yourself in that story, or someone you know in that story? Share it. Let's get an open dialogue going. I'm really looking forward to hearing some of what you have to say. Once again, this is Coach Ivy ReVined. If you like this video, please press the like button, and hey, share it if you like, and also hit the subscribe button so you could get the many notifications, because they're coming. And I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to this process, and I hope this is something that you can identify with yourself, and you can heal from as well. Till next time, everybody. Stay blessed.